Assessments, tastes, needs, and aversions are a few things we have some control over, and a few things we can't. So, we are accountable for all that is associated with our deeds. However, we can't change our bodies, our cash, our picture, individuals in control, or whatever else that isn't brought about by our demonstrations. This is the initial segment of the renowned Greek savant's manual for life. You really want to realize that you have no control over everything in your life. If you have any desire to carry on with a cheerful, calm life, we must zero in on what we have some control over and not stress over what we can't. The perspectives and decisions of others are quite possibly of the most terrible thing that can happen to an individual. They will in all likelihood affect you either positive or negative. At the point when somebody expresses a negative thought or offending about you, you have no control over it. To be impacted, you really want to grasp this. At the point when we read the manual of life, we realize what to do when somebody harms us. Consequently, the objective of this video is to take 8 lessons or standards from Epictetus, his popular manual of life, and use them to assist us with arriving at a psychological express that allows us to decrease or dispose of a wide range of experiencing that comes others' decisions. This example will show you why you shouldn't stress over how others feel and how to reach a point where their thoughts can't hurt you, put downs, or wrongdoings. Number 1, recall that he who affronts or strikes isn't offended, yet rather his own judgment that these activities are hostile. Assuming somebody disturbs you, recall that it's your own viewpoint. That is making you upset in any case. Try not to allow appearances to annoy you. It will be more straightforward to control yourself once you have a chance to quiet down. One of the keys to not thinking often about the assessments of others is to comprehend that the affront or offense isn't intrinsically destructive. The close-to-home uneasiness that goes with the affront really comes from how we process that affront. At the point when somebody disparages you or slights, you imagine that this affront will possibly hurt you, assuming you permit it. In the event that you respond adversely, the genuine worth of an individual ought to be estimated by the amount they can endure pessimism. Sadly, life is like that when you feel offended or annoyed. Ask yourself, would I like to win or lose? Would I like to respect what I have zero control over? Allow me to draw a line up with emotionlessness and joys. To quit being impacted by them, we should not battle against want, since want won't ever vanish. The distinction lies by the way we process that craving. In the event that we totally give up to it or disregard it along these lines, on the off chance that you oversee not to be upset by the affront, the fulfillment you will feel subsequently will make you somebody unrivaled and equipped for progressing unfalteringly through difficulty. Your likely reasoning of when somebody offered something imply that filled your heart with joy or weak more regrettable, regardless of how enthusiastically you attempted. I know how you feel. Everybody has been there sooner or later. Assuming that this sounds like you, continue to watch, since we'll discuss restraint in the following standard. The subsequent guideline is to adhere to your objectives. To try not to be influenced by others' viewpoints, this is the thing you really want to be aware. Assuming you want to comprehend reasoning, be fit to be chuckled at and prodded all along. Individuals will make statements like, out of nowhere, he turned into a rationalist. Or, on the other hand, where does this presumptuous mentality come from? Try not to take on that arrogant mentality and remain firm. Recall that assuming you adhere to your convictions, individuals who used to ridicule you will presently respect you. Yet, assuming you yield to others' contentions, you'll be snickered at 2 times. This Greek rule can be utilized in any aspect of our lives, not simply theory. This standard is significant in light of the fact that many individuals disregard their actual gifts to satisfy the people who can't help contradicting them. In the event that somebody surrenders just to stay away from social issues or individuals discussing them, it's anything but a disappointment. It's a genuine issue. it merits staying with it, regardless of whether there is scorn or addressing for some time. Eventually, you'll be experiencing your real essence by pushing ahead. I propose you contemplate this at whatever point you want to settle on a decision and ponder your needs and figure out the genuine purpose for your decision. Third, you can definitely relax in the event that somebody tears down you. Assuming somebody harms you or criticizes you, recall that they are doing it since they think it is correct. However, you shouldn't accept that everybody will continuously observe the guidelines you believe are correct in light of the fact that they may not be ideal for them. Significantly, everybody has their own perspectives and values, and we can't change how they see us. So when they judge you in light of a bogus or unjustifiable, in each circumstance, individuals patient with others' perspectives. Advise yourself that you shouldn't think often a lot about others' opinion on you. What counts is that you follow your own qualities as a new-to-the-scene craftsman. Suppose you've made an ideal work of art that you're pleased with and share it via virtual entertainment. Nonetheless, certain individuals reprimand the manner in which you involved varieties and procedures in your specialty, and you regret it. You can recall that these individuals reserve the option to their own perspectives and may not concur with your style. You can't change how they feel about your work. Epictetus, the old apathetic rationalist, encourages us to treat our brains with similar regard as we do our bodies in the present speedy world. The issue is that we need more discretion and discipline, very much like you wouldn't allow anybody to take the keys to your home. You shouldn't let affronts or issues influence your psychological state, all things considered. To fix this, you want to develop a fort of mental fortitude and self-control. To start, you want to comprehend that an affront is simply hostile to you when you view it as such. Your capacity to keep your tranquility comes from the inside, not from what others say or do. The following time you feel yourself blowing up or disheartened, stop, take a full breath, and ask yourself, is it worth losing my inner serenity? More often than not, the response is no. Envision the opportunity that accompanies controlling your feelings. Might it be said that you are prepared to safeguard your psychological home and bring back harmony? Continue to peruse as we meticulously describe how unemotional standards can completely change you. What will you do today to safeguard your psychological home? Share your considerations in the remarks beneath. What's more, we should fabricate a local area in view of the insight of emotionlessness. 5. Try not to focus on living in disgrace. In the event that not being regarded is so terrible, then, at that point, others can make us miserable. In any case, that is not the way in which things work. In all actuality, you are just answerable for the things you have some control over. This thought is vital these days. Have you at any point done something you would have rather not done just to get others' endorsement? Like via web-based entertainment? Others' endorsement can be like toxic substance to certain individuals. We ought to inquire as to whether it merits changing who we are only for a little delight. Is jeopardizing others' joy worth the effort? My response is clear no. I believe that you should ponder this, since one of the principal precepts of unemotional way of thinking is to just think often about what you have some control over and not care about what you can't. On the off chance that somebody harms you since you let them, it's their own shortcoming. 6th, do your thought process is correct. We shouldn't feel awful when others see us following our qualities, regardless of whether they comprehend what we're doing. This is an ordinary piece of growing up and communicating our thoughts, and it takes boldness to defend our qualities and convictions. Assuming we do our thought process is correct, why stress over what others will think? Having confidence in yourself and your choices is significant. It's not generally imaginable to get everybody to concur with you, and that is completely fine. This is additionally evident when we're via virtual entertainment, where our satisfaction frequently relies on how famous we are or the way that others see us. Turning out to be too subject to others' perspectives and judgments is simple. Let's assume you are a researcher dealing with a hard undertaking. Your methodology can possibly make a major revelation that will change our opinion on a major issue. At the point when you share your exploration results with mainstream researchers, some will acclaim and support your work. However, others will rush to scrutinize your technique. That is the way they see you. Indifferent way of thinking assists you with exploring through analysis and handle it smoothly and unflinchingly, assisting you with keeping up with internal harmony and spotlight on self-awareness. Epictetus showed us the accompanying example. Do you figure you will adequately live to become deserving of the greatest advancement and follow the philosophical standards you have been educated? The philosophical standards you ought to know about are: is it safe to say that you are trusting that another instructor will begin moving along? You are at this point not a kid, however, a grown-up. Assuming you keep on being imprudent, apathetic, and continuously putting things off, all that in your life will cruise you by.